The Fat Controller was at Great Waterton with Miss Sally along with Miss Jenny and her machines. They were building a new bandstand. It was going to be a special surprise for Lady Hatt to celebrate her birthday, and she loved bandstands. Flora was bringing the presents, banners, and the bunting, while Stanley was bringing the gravel for the pavements. Thanks, Stanley. Just shunt them over there, please. Sure thing, Jack. Stanley tried to shunt the trucks into place, but the trucks decided to be troublesome. Hold back! Hold back! Stanley pulled and pulled, but the trucks wouldn't move. Stanley knew what he had to do. He had to use his do-as-I-say whistle. So he blew his whistle long and loud. That did the trick. The trucks knew that when Stanley blew his do-as-I-say whistle, they had to do what he wanted. Flora was very impressed. Soon the trucks were in line. Then, the Fat Controller walked over to Stanley. Hi, sir. I hope I didn't blow my whistle too loudly. Not at all, Stanley. You were showing the trucks that you were in charge. Stanley was relieved. Well done, Stanley. Now then, I need an engine to collect Lady Hatt and bring her to her surprise concert. Any volunteers? I'm afraid I'm too busy to pick her up, sir. May I do it, sir? Very well then, Flora. But you must be back here by tea time, and you must not tell her where she is going, or it will spoil the surprise. Don't worry, sir. I won't. Flora was excited. She had to meet Lady Hatt at Maithwaite Station. It was a long way from Great Waterton, but Flora didn't mind. Hello, ma'am. The Fat Controller has sent me to take you on a special trip. Oh, that sounds lovely. First, I'd like to go to the duck pond. Then Lady Hatt climbed on board. Flora was worried. She was supposed to take Lady Hatt to the bandstand. That was her special trip. But she didn't dare tell Lady Hatt in case she spoiled the surprise. So, she puffed to the duck pond. Lady Hatt stood by the pond and she started feeding the ducks. But Flora wanted to get going. Soon, Lady Hatt was done. Next, I'd like to go to the windmill, please. Flora was worried. She knew there wasn't time to go to the windmill, but she didn't feel brave enough to tell Lady Hatt. So, she puffed away. When they arrived at the windmill, Dusty Miller was there. Lady Hatt was pleased. Hello, Dusty. How are you? We're going to be really late now. At last, Lady Hatt was finished talking to Dusty. Now, Flora, I would like to see the bluebells in the woods. It would be the perfect way to end my special trip. Flora was more worried than ever, but she puffed to the woods. But with every puff, she was getting later and further away from Lady Hatt's surprise. Flora and Lady Hatt arrived at the woods. Lady Hatt wandered off to admire the bluebells. Flora waited and waited. Then suddenly, Stanley puffed up. Where have you been, Flora? Everyone is waiting for Lady Hatt. I'm very sorry, Stanley. Tell everyone I'll be there very soon. Okay, but don't be too long. The Fat Controller is starting to get very cross. Then Stanley puffed away. Flora looked around, but she couldn't see Lady Hatt anywhere. Flora knew what she had to do. She had to do Stanley's do-as-I-say whistle, but she only had her bell. So, she rang her bell as loud as she could. Lady Hatt soon came running out of the woods. Flora, is there something wrong? Yes, I'm supposed to take you to your surprise. That was your special trip. Oh, I love surprises. Why didn't you tell me? I thought it would ruin the surprise if I told you, and now we might be late. So we must hurry. So Lady Hatt quickly climbed aboard, and Flora raced back to Great Waterton as fast as she could. The band was warming up, and everyone was excited. At last, Flora arrived with Lady Hatt. The Fat Controller and Miss Sally greeted her warmly, and soon the band started to play. Lady Hatt was delighted. What a lovely surprise! Thank you for bringing me here, Flora. And thank you, Flora, for keeping it a surprise. You're welcome, sir. Stanley puffed next to Flora. When I left the woods, I heard your bell very loudly. Ah, well, you could say that was my version of your do-as-I-say whistle. It came in handy, just like yours.